Fright Week is almost here. Are you excited? Because I am so excited. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be looking at all the books that I want to read during Fright Week. If you guys don't know what Fright Week is, then you missed one of my videos because I already announced it. So I will throw it up in the cards. Go take a look at that video and then come back to this video to see what I plan on reading for that whole entire week. I was actually pretty smart this time because my TBR is pretty doable. I always tend to like get these like large TBRs where they're like 600 page books for like a week worth of a readathon, or like 10 books, 600 pages each, and that is just ridiculous, but that's just me. But this time I picked books that were a little bit more doable and I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to read all these books because, well, you guys will see. So the first prompt is to read a book that takes place during Halloween, and for that I chose Halloween Night by R.L. Stine. You guys, this book has been on a million Halloween October TBRs because whatever, I don't know what it is with me and reading these books, R.L. Stine's books and Goosebumps. I try, but I never can. But this time I will. I'm excited to read this one. I love this cover so much and I really want to read it. So let's hope and pray that I get to it this time around. But I think I'm gonna love it. I don't know just what my issue is. This is just about a girl that plans to kill her cousin Haley because she is like the most hated girl. Haley is, because Haley just keeps taking everybody's boyfriend and they're trying to plan the perfect murder. So I really am excited to read this one. The second prompt is to read a book with a pumpkin on the cover, and for that I am doing Dark Harvest. You guys, I am so excited for this book. I have had this forever. This has like a cult following. Everybody loves this. I believe it's a coming of age story, which I'm all about. And this is by Norman Patridge. I don't think... Patridge? Y'all, my English. So yeah, that I'm assuming that that's a pumpkin. That's what I'm going to take it as, that's a pumpkin. So this is what I'm gonna read for that prompt. This takes place on Halloween night in 1963, and it follows this guy, October Boy or Old Hacksaw Face or Sawtooth Jack, whatever the name. Everybody in this small Midwestern town knows who he is and how he rises from the cornfields every Halloween. A bloody butcher knife in his hand, and makes his way towards town where gangs of teenage boys eagerly await their chance to confront the legendary Nightmare. Yes, please, thank you very much. Oh gosh. The third prompt is to read a book by a diverse horror author, and for that I'm going with The Between by Tananarive Due. I really enjoyed her short story collection Ghost Summer this past summer. I only got halfway through, but I was really impressed with her writing style and I just want to read more of her works. So that's why I'm going with this one. This is the largest book that I have on my TBR, and it is an ebook, so I feel like it'll go by quicker and I can be reading that while I read other things. So I'm excited to read The Between by Tananarive Due. The fourth prompt is to read a horror graphic novel or manga, and for that prompt I have two because they're graphic novels and they go by quickly. The first one is I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young. I don't know nothing about this, but look at this art style. I'm dying to get into it. This is volume 1, Madly Ever After. I've had this for a while on my shelves, and I'm just happy to finally read it. I know it looks all colorful, but it is a horror graphic novel. And the next graphic novel is The Walking Dead volume 13, Too Far Gone. I'm happy to finally be diving in to the Walking Dead world. It's been a while since I've picked up one of these graphic novels and I'm just ready. I'm ready to read more of them. I actually have up to volume 19 sitting here, so maybe I'll pick up a couple of the Walking Deads during the readathon. I don't know yet, but those are the two that I have planned for prompts number 4.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I love you.
I love you.
Look hot.
And the last and final prompt number 5, is to read a horror anthology or short story collection. And I'm so excited for this one, you guys. I just received it a couple days ago. Thank you so much to the folks over at Raw Dog Screaming Press for sending this my way for review. The minute I saw this, and I was like, I need that book because the cover is just perfect and the title is perfect, and I can't wait to jump in. And now that I'm just rambling on about this damn book, Halloween Season by Lucy A. Snyder. This is just short stories by this author. Not your kids' Halloween. I cannot wait. Look at that cover, you guys. There are 15 stories in here, so I feel like if I read 2 stories a day, I will be good. One of those days I'm gonna have to read 3 stories, but they are pretty short. The book is only 160 pages, so I'm so excited for this one, you guys. So that's it. That is my TBR for Fright Week. Very short little books, nothing too big. Like I said, my biggest book is The Between by Tananarive Due. So I think it's pretty doable. I didn't overdo myself this time with the TBR, and I'm pretty happy. I have been trying not to look at this TBR so that I don't keep changing it. There was actually just one change. I've had this TBR set for I think 2 weeks. Whenever I did the announcement video, right after that announcement video, I set my TBR, and I've tried not to look at it. The only one that I did change was the Halloween Season one. Initially, I was gonna read Lullabies for Suffering, which is an anthology. Up next, we are going to be talking about some recommendations. I want to give you guys some recommendations. Maybe you're struggling picking out some books, or you don't know what to pick for a certain prompt, so let me give you some recs. Now, some of these I have read and some of these I haven't read. So for the first one, which takes place during Halloween, I do have a couple of recommendations for this one. A couple of these are short story collections, so you can use them for both prompts, for short story and for takes place on Halloween. But the first one is The October Boys. I'm actually 50% or 55% of the way through with this book. It's actually downstairs, so I'll just put a picture of it. I don't want to go to get it. Here we're following 4 boys. One night, October 19, it was Halloween night, and I don't know if it was the 60s or the 80s, but basically there's 4 friends. They're out trick-or-treating, and they start getting followed by this ice cream truck, and the ice cream truck is playing like this distorted music, and the ice cream truck ends up following them. Did I say that already? I think I did. And one of the kids ends up going missing. Now, years later, this has tormented these kids forever until they're adults. And when they are adults, things start happening again. So that one's a really good one to read for this prompt. I also have 4 Halloweens. This is a short story collection by Keelan Patrick Burke, Ray Garton, Ed Gorman, and Norman Prentice. I did read this one and I really enjoyed it. Like I said, this is an anthology, so you can use this one for both prompts. I'm not sure. I haven't read this one, Halloween Party. I do have it set for this month. There is a read along for it. I don't know if it takes place on Halloween night, but it takes place at a Halloween party. So may pretend it's on Halloween night. So this is another one. And yeah, those are all the recommendations I think I have for that one. I know there's plenty more books that take place on Halloween night, but honestly I am drawing a blank. I am also going to be leaving linked down below all the other hosts' recommendations video, just so you guys get other recommendations. I just can't think about any other Halloween night books. So let's continue. For pumpkin on the cover, again, I have a variety. Again, Autumn Crow. It has a pumpkin. You can use Halloween Party. It has a pumpkin, and you can use 4 Halloweens. It has little pumpkins all around. So for diverse horror authors, I have a few recommendations. These first 3, they are Black authors, but I haven't read these books yet, so I can't attest to whether they're good or not, but I've heard fantastic reviews for all of these books. The first one being The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor LaValle. I have another one by Victor LaValle, which is The Devil in Silver. And then I have Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler. Then I have some Latin authors as well. Coyote Songs, I have read this and I believe I gave it 4 stars. This one packs a punch. It's not that big. It's great for a readathon, but it touches on some important topics as far as immigration and the people in Mexico trying to cross the border, but it is a horror novel. So this one is pretty good. The next one, a woman Latin author Silvia Moreno Garcia with Mexican Gothic. This I would recommend to people that really aren't that into horror, like they don't want like really deep horror or gory horror. This is just a gothic horror and it's a slow burn and not very gory or jump scares, if that's even possible in a book. So I think that if you aren't very well versed in horror or just new to horror and just want something subtle, I think this would be a very good option. And then I'm gonna name some women authors as well. I think it's very important to read horror from some women authors. Horror authors are usually looked over because the horror genre is a very white male dominant industry, so we gotta get some women in there. First one being Anya Alborn, and that is Brother. She also has Bird Eater, which I have read. I think Bird Eater is the least one of my favorites, but that one really has like very big creep factors that really creeped me out. We also have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. That one's more of a gothic horror as well, so it's a little bit more slow burn and not in your face gory horror. It's more of a subtle kind of eerie horror. We have The Toll by Sherry Priest. I really didn't like that book. I actually gave it 2 stars, but there are people that rated it 5 stars, so you might give it a try. Laurel Hightower, I highly recommend her. She has Whispers in the Dark was a favorite of mine this year. It was so well made, kick-ass character, and she has also Crossroads, which is a novella that came out this year. I haven't read it yet, but I do have it on my TBR. They say that it is soul crushing, so that's another one you can read. And let's just move to the next prompt, because I could be in this prompt forever for diverse authors. As far as horror graphic novels go, besides The Walking Dead, I recommend The Walking Dead to everybody. You have The Sandman. I love The Sandman so much. I can read The Sandman forever. As you guys know, you guys always see it on my videos, and I hate that it's not behind my video right now, but I do have the 2 huge editions, the annotated Sandmans, which I love because sometimes the Sandman can be a little bit hard to understand. So I love that I have the annotated ones because it makes me understand, or it helps me understand a lot of the points that they're trying to make and references with those side notes. So that's a really good one as well. Lock and Key by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. Gabriel Rodriguez is the illustrator, so you can use this for diverse as well if you want to. I really did enjoy this one. I've only read volume 1 though, but I really want to continue with it. So really good. If you want more of a funny horror or a light horror as far as the graphic novels goes, this year I read Dr. Herbert West, An Astounding Tale of Medical Malpractice. I will link up above the wrap-up that has this graphic novel in it, but I gave it 5 stars. It was amazing. It has to do with zombies, but it's so cute. It's like a cute horror. So again, if you're a beginner to horror and really don't want anything too gory or too scary, this is a perfect graphic novel. And I mean, the inside and the color schemes to this is just amazing. So I highly recommend that. And then also, any Batman really can be considered horror. We have Harley Quinn. I just got this one and I can't wait to read it. The Batman, you have The Long Halloween. You have A Death in the Family. Those are all great options as well. They're dark and they are fantastic. And for the last and final prompt, we have horror anthologies or short story collections. Again, Autumn Crow by Cameron Chaney. We also have The Last Seance by Agatha Christie. This is Tales of the Supernatural, so it's all short stories. Again, Lullabies for Suffering. I mentioned this earlier during my TBR. 4 Halloweens by these 4 authors. This is short stories. And you know, Stephen King has short story collections. If you want to dive into Stephen King maybe and start with short stories to sort of dip your feet in if you haven't read his books yet. There's Night Shift. I read about 5 to 6 stories on Night Shift and I really didn't like it. I don't like his short stories. I think I liked 2 out of the 5 or maybe 6 that I read. But you can try it, especially if you haven't read him before and you want to get a little taste of his writing. You can try his stuff as well. So that's it, you guys. That's it for this video. Those are my recommendations. That's my TBR for Fright Week. Let me know if you have your TBR set already. What will you be reading? What are you most excited for to read? Let's talk books down in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!